Have you ever heard of the woman who rode into battle with such conviction she altered the course of history? Ever wonder what kind of courage it takes to charge into the chaos of war, not just once, but again and again? This is the story of Buffalo Calf Road, a Cheyenne warrior whose bravery defied expectations, defied an empire, and most famously, defied General George Armstrong Custer himself. The wind howls across the endless plains, carrying the echoes of those who came before. The tall grass bends and sways like an ocean, whispering ancient stories of warriors and battles, victories and sacrifices. But today, the whispers are drowned out by the thunder of hoofbeats. The ground trembles beneath charging horses. The scent of sweat, dust, and gunpowder fills the air. War has come to this land. It is the summer of 1876. The sun burns high in the sky, casting long shadows over the rolling hills. A storm is brewing, not of wind and rain, but of steel and fire. The U.S. Army marches forward, determined to crush the resistance of the Plains tribes. The Lakota, the Cheyenne, and the Arapaho stand together, knowing this could be their last chance to protect their way of life. In the midst of it all, a young Cheyenne woman sits tall in the saddle, her dark eyes scanning the battlefield. Her name is Buffalo Calf Road. To many, war is a man's domain, but she has never accepted such limits. With every fiber of her being, she fights for her people, for her land, for her future. She grips the reins tightly, her heart pounding. The time for hesitation and fear has passed. The battle has begun. It was June 17, 1876. The scorching sun cast a golden glow over the vast plains as General George Crook and his army advanced with ruthless determination. Their mission was clear: to drive the northern Cheyenne and Lakota from their homeland once and for all. But the warriors of the plains would not surrender so easily. They'd fought for generations to protect their land, their families, and their way of life, and today would be no different. From her vantage point on the ridge, Buffalo Calf Road watched as the battle erupted below. The piercing cries of warriors filled the air. Muskets fired in rapid succession, their sharp cracks echoing across the battlefield. Arrows sliced through the sky like deadly shadows. The earth itself seemed to tremble beneath the thunderous charge of war horses. Dust and smoke swirled in the chaos, obscuring friend from foe. Amid the frenzied clash, Buffalo Calf Road's eyes locked onto a terrifying sight. Her brother, comes in sight, had been thrown from his horse. He lay stranded in the open, an easy target for the advancing soldiers. Time seemed to slow. If she did not act now, he would not survive. Without hesitation, Buffalo Calf Road spurred her horse forward. Hooves pounded against the dry earth as she weaved through the battlefield, dodging bullets and arrows. The acrid scent of gunpowder stung her nostrils, but she pressed on. Finally, she reached her brother. Leaning down, she extended her arm, gripping his with all her strength. With one powerful pull, she lifted him onto her horse and turned, galloping back towards safety. The Cheyenne warriors, witnessing her astonishing act of bravery, erupted in a resounding war cry. Emboldened by her fearlessness, they fought with renewed fury, pushing back the soldiers. Against all odds, they won the battle that day. And from that moment forward, history would remember this fight not merely as a victory, but as the battle where the girl saved her brother. But Buffalo Calf's road journey was far from over. The true test of her courage was still to come. 1 week later, the Cheyenne, Lakota, and Arapaho warriors gathered once more. This time, they faced a foe whose name would be etched into history: General George Armstrong Custer. Known for his reckless ambition and ruthless tactics, Custer had spent years waging war against the Plains tribes, determined to force them onto reservations. Now leading the 7th Cavalry, he was confident that victory at the Little Bighorn River was inevitable. But Custer had underestimated his enemy. Among the warriors who rode into battle that day was Buffalo Calf Road. She was not a bystander, nor was she there merely to witness history. She was there to shape it. Her presence on the battlefield was not just an act of defiance, but a testament to the unwavering strength of her people. Custer's cavalry charged, their blue uniforms flashing the dark omens as they advanced with deadly precision. Gunfire erupted into a thunderous roar that echoed across the plains. Horses reared and screamed. Soldiers fell beneath the relentless assault of the native warriors. Smoke and dust clouded the battlefield, but Buffalo Calf Road did not waver. She maneuvered her horse with practiced skill, weaving through the chaos, her rifle steady in her hands. Without hesitation, each shot striking its mark, her courage became a rallying force, inspiring those around her to fight harder, to push forward with unbreakable resolve. Then came the moment that would forever be remembered. As Custer's forces found themselves encircled, their once unshakable confidence began to crumble. The warriors pressed in, relentless and unyielding. And then Buffalo Calf Road struck. Some say she rode straight into the heart of Custer's line, delivering a decisive blow that sent him sprawling from his horse. Others claim she was among the many warriors who overwhelmed him in his final moments. But one thing is certain, she was there, fighting in the battle that would become one of the most devastating defeats in U.S. military history. When the dust finally settled, Custer and his men lay dead. The Lakota, Cheyenne, and Arapaho had achieved an overwhelming victory, but their triumph came at a cost. The U.S. government would not forget. They would not forgive. In the months that followed, the Cheyenne faced relentless retaliation. The government, furious over Custer's defeat, unleashed its full might upon the native tribes. Soldiers burned villages. Women and children were slaughtered. Those who survived were forced to flee. Buffalo Calf Road, along with her husband Black Coyote and their children, became fugitives in their own land. The once vast and free plains became a cage. Then came the betrayal. Promised safety, Buffalo Calf Road and her people surrendered, only to be forcibly relocated to a barren, disease-ridden reservation in present-day Oklahoma. The land was unforgiving. Food was scarce. Illness spread like wildfire. Many did not survive. Buffalo Calf Road, ever defiant, refused to accept this fate. In 1878, she and a small group of Cheyenne warriors led by Chief Dull Knife and Chief Little Wolf made a daring escape, embarking on a treacherous journey north 1,500 miles on foot in an attempt to return home. But the journey was brutal. With soldiers in constant pursuit, exhaustion and hunger weighed heavily on them. The cold bit into their bones. Still, Buffalo Calf Road pressed on, carrying her children, shielding them from the elements, fighting to the very end. Captured once more, Buffalo Calf Road's fate was sealed. Torn from her people and confined within the cold, unfeeling walls of a prison, she found herself isolated from everything she had fought so fiercely to protect. The land she had defended with her life was now beyond her reach. The people she had ridden alongside in battle were scattered, many dead, others forced into exile. Yet even as her body weakened, her spirit remained unbroken. She had defied armies, charged into the heat of battle, and faced death without fear. No prison could truly contain the warrior that she was. In the bitter month of May 1879, sickness crept into her cell like an unseen enemy. Diphtheria, a relentless disease, stole the last of her strength. She was barely 30 years old when she took her final breath, her life cut tragically short. But though her body failed, death could not erase her legacy. The echoes of her bravery resonated far beyond the walls that held her captive. And even today, her spirit rides on. The wind still whispers her name across the vast plains, carrying with it the legend of a woman who stood against an empire. The girl who saved her brother. The woman who struck down Custer. The fearless Cheyenne warrior, Buffalo Calf Road. The sky stretches endlessly above. The land rolls on forever, untouched, wild, free just as it once was. And somewhere beneath the vastness of the sky, Buffalo Calf Road's spirit lingers, galloping across the earth she fought so hard to protect. Her story is not forgotten, because legends never die. If you find this story interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more untold truths of women in history. Thank you for watching She Serves.